Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya, or Gakuten Yoshiwara. We are pursuing Kagerou, and we are on Chapter 3, Kagerou in the Daytime. Let's get started and let me read you a story. Why don't we take a little break around here? These books also seem to be heavier than expected. Kagerou-san pointed to the package containing the books. For the package, you should ask the shop over there to have it delivered to Yoshiwara. We then went into the store on the street and left after asking them to send the package. I guess even a girl who knows nothing of the world knows her own yard well. In any case, thank you. We have many regular clients here, and I've been running around here freely since I was little. You were quite a tomboy, weren't you? What do you think? But you said freely, right? What kind of feeling was that? Kagerou-san's roguish eyes suddenly became clouded. How long will I be able to come out to attend school like this? Kagerou's eyes quietly stared at the river running alongside of the road. The water's surface flickered as it reflected the sun's rays, and it would occasionally shine beautifully upon Kagerou-san's profile. I want to continue to study and train, but... The boy's profile looked mature for his age, and it somehow made my heart race. Well, why don't we sit down and talk a little? Good idea. The weather's nice today, anyway. We sat down on a long bamboo bench situated alongside the river. It was my first time sitting down next to a man, so I wasn't sure how far I should be from him. After you officially start to have clients, will it become difficult to go out? You really don't know anything about the red light district. I'm sorry. I guess it can't be helped. So, it looks like I'll have to teach you again. Though Kagerou-san let out a deep sigh, he proudly displayed his raised index finger. Normally, the higher the gentleman is, the more restrictions there are on going out. Even so, Kagerou-san can still go out for training, but Kagerou-san is allowed this exception due to his popularity. Not everyone is allowed to do that. Really? So you can't do that either, Kagerou-san? This person who chose those books with stars in his eyes, if he became a gentleman of the night, then he wouldn't be able to study freely? Why do you have such a sad look on your face? Without that happy-go-lucky smile on your face, you'll just be a regular boring girl. You know? Though he said that in a harsh way, I guess it was his way of showing his concern. Kagerou-san, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't need to think about the future just yet. And today was kind of a nice day. Kagerou-san mumbled at the end of his sentence and then looked away from me. I don't really have a chance to spend time out of Yoshiwara with someone around my age. Well, actually, I've almost never had the experience. Before we knew it, the sunset illuminated the town in an orange hue. I'll let you know when I find more rare books, Kagerou-san. That would make me happy. Just then, Kagerou-san's glance was drawn in by something, and his eyes stopped at the top of my head. Oh, don't move. Huh? With a serious look in his eye, Kagerou-san extended his fingers towards my forehead. The chiseled outline of his face came near me, and I could clearly hear my racing heartbeat. Oh. In that instant, I saw something flutter by. Is it a dragonfly? I thought it would be rare to see one since it's out of season. It got away. To my relief, the boy's face that was once close to me was now distanced from me. Then Kagerou-san took a pocket watch out of his coat pocket and looked at it. How rare! You have a Western watch. I have some connections with the foreign country. Perhaps it was just my imagination, but did he have a little trouble saying that? Anyway, I need to go back to Kikuya soon. Isao-san, where's your house? I didn't understand why he asked me that, so I cocked my head to the side in confusion. Just then... I'm saying that I will see you to your house. Oh, okay. And so Kagerou ended up seeing me to my house. However, the shop is smaller than I expected. Kagerou-san looked at the outer appearance of the store and knitted his brow. I heard you need a lot of money if you want to spend a night in a shop like Kikuya. Could he be suspicious of the source of my money? Well, don't worry about my money. Business has been doing very well. I see. You're saying that you're a merchant who has come into money, aren't you? I don't really know much about that, so I have no intention to pry. Well, I'll be going then. He appeared dismissive as he attempted to turn his back to me and leave. Well, he grabbed my clothing before. Should I grab his clothing back? Yeah. Before saying anything, I grabbed his coat. What? Oh, well, that is... Why? As I looked into his bewildered eyes, something sprung into my mind, though I no longer had any intentions to go to Yoshiwara. I just wanted to see him again. Is it okay if I go to the shop again? I want to see you again, Kagerou-san. Misao-san, you want to see me? With his eyes open wide with surprise, I felt that he did look the same age as me. Yes, please. I'm waiting for you. The faint smile on his face made him appear mature. What was this feeling? Why did I think about him so much? Of course, if you choose Kagerou-san, but... Yes? Well, see you again. Kagerou-san bowed politely, and with his back standing straight up, he left. I kept looking at his boyish yet manly back for a long time. Kagerou-san. I didn't expect there to be a gentleman like him in this district of pleasure that knows no night. I thought he was a person who only said harsh things, but he was still a boy near my age. Those shining eyes of his that I saw in the bookstore. When I remembered them, some warm feeling filled my heart. If I go to Kikuya, I can see him again. When I opened the sliding door of my shop and tried to enter my house, I found something twinkling on the ground. What is this? Curious, I picked up the small shiny object. Could this be an imported item? As I curiously examined it, it looked similar to part of a pendant accessory that I saw before when I was assisting at the store. I couldn't find anything like the tiny chains and strings that came from those types of items. It doesn't seem like something that we purchased for the shop. Did someone drop it? Could it belong to Kagerou-san? He told me he has some connections with a foreign country, but... Just as I was trying to wrap my mind around this... Hello, are you an acquaintance of Kagerou? The woman that Kagerou-san argued with earlier in the day started to talk to me. You must be... Kagerou-san's schoolteacher? Oh, did he say something like that? Confused, the woman gracefully laughed. That's not true. My name is Shion. I'm Kagerou's sister. What? You're Kagerou-san's sister? In reaction to this unexpected turn of events, all I could do was stare at her. Though quiet, there was a faint hint of Kagerou-san in her eyes. For some reason, Kagerou and I were separated from each other. I went to the mainland on my own and was blessed with a good husband, so my family lives well. I feel sorry for Kagerou-san, to think that he had no choice but to become a gentleman of the night. Oh, really? But why were you separated from him? The woman pressed her eyes to stop from crying, and then gave me a serious look. You must already know that hardly any boys are born on this island. Yes. But this also means that a boy is born to be separated from his family. That is the fate that awaits him. He will be imprisoned in Yoshiwara as a gentleman. Shion-san's story told of the painful hidden reality of this island. Fortunately, because of my husband, I was able to make enough money to buy his freedom. And even though I had said this to him many times, he won't listen to me. Really? Why? For a gentleman of the night in Yoshiwara to have your freedom bought should be more than a dream, surely. You seem to be close with Kagerou, so could you convince him for me? Me? Yes. Right now he is able to go outside of Yoshiwara, at will. But after he makes his debut and starts to take clients, he'll be confined only to Yoshiwara. However, if I pay for his freedom and he retires, I'll also be able to see you freely, you know? Freely. That means Kagerou would be able to study and train, and he would be able to do so to his heart's content. Please, do this for his sake. Please, couldn't you do this? Shion-san strongly gripped her hands together and passionately appealed to my heart. What should I do? Well, I can't make any promises, but I'll talk to him. I understand your feelings, Shion-san, but I can't make any promises. What? Why? Don't you like Kagerou? Well, Am I wrong? I'm not that close to Kagerou-san. I see. I'm sorry to have asked this of you all of a sudden. No, it's okay. Shion-san dropped her shoulders in disappointment and walked away with slow, heavy steps. Now I kind of wish I did... Oh, I already made my choice. I didn't really understand. I mean, I should have told her I'm gonna try, right? Perhaps what Shion was saying was true, but if it was, then why? Why wouldn't Kagerou-san hear Shion out? Without seeing it, I had been tightly gripping the pendant top that I picked up earlier. Kagerou-san. Chapter 4, Shion. The next day, on top of my palm, I was rolling the pendant accessory that I had picked up yesterday. Kagerou-san. The words that I heard from Shion yesterday echoed in my head. I have enough money to buy his freedom, and even though I've said this to him many times, he won't listen to me. To have one's freedom bought. For a gentleman of the night who was confined to Yoshiwara, I heard that it was more than a dream to have your freedom bought. Maybe I didn't know enough about the red light district, and it's really not that for them. There's also this pendant that I picked up yesterday, so should I go see him? Should I go to Yoshiwara again? In the daytime, Yoshiwara was unexpectedly quiet and inactive. No, perhaps I'm wrong. It was because I know the true character of this city is one of lust and desire. I felt that way because I know this city's appearance at night. Kagerou-san. I unconsciously clutched my hand in front of my chest pocket where I had the pendant. I wanted to ask him how he really felt. Just then, I found Kagerou-san walking down the main street, while carrying his bag under his arm. Kagerou-san! Misao-san. What happened? I didn't expect you to come to Yoshiwara in the daytime. Even though I had wanted to see him, when I finally faced him, I was unable to ask him any of the things I wanted to ask. So, are you coming back from school, Kagerou-san? No, today I have performance training. Training? What kind? A little bit of dancing and singing. Speaking of, I have yet to see Kagerou's performance skills, but I could easily imagine how graceful this boy would dance. Kagerou-san, you're dancing. It must be very beautiful. I'm like a baby who's just grown a bit of hair. I'm still just an amateur. There are plenty of gentlemen who are exceptional at dancing and singing. Tokiwa-san's dancing and singing skills are particularly amazing. Is Tokiwa the man with the blonde hair? That's right. I don't really like him, though. He praised him, but also didn't forget to speak harshly of him, too. When I saw this, a giggle escaped from my mouth. How rude. Why are you laughing? Because that's just so you, Kagerou-san. Oh, by the way, I found this. I took the pendant accessory from my chest pocket. I finally feel like the tense feeling between us has loosened up. This was dropped in front of my house yesterday. Does it belong to you, Kagerou-san? I presented it to Kagerou-san. And as I did, the silver accessory reflected the sunlight and shined dimly. This can't be true, can it? Huh? I didn't expect you would find this. Kagerou-san clearly showed his happiness, and held the accessory in my hands with his hands. The softness of his palms made me gasp for a moment. Thank you so much. I thought that I may have dropped it somewhere, and had been looking for it all along. When I handed it to him, Kagerou-san directed his eyes fondly towards the small silver accessory. His glance was gentle. Even someone like Kagerou-san. It was hard to believe that he would have such a childlike look of joy on his face. Is it something precious? Yes. I have held this with care ever since I was a child. Wait, I'll show you why right now. It made a small click sound. It seemed like it had a trick to it. When Kagerou-san handled it, the cover of the accessory opened. How rare! It was a Western gadget, and it was inside the accessory. Even at my shop, it was rare to see something like this. Can you see it? There's a small picture in here. After Kagerou-san told me this, I took a closer look. This is a little boy. Was it Kagerou-san when he was a child? There was also an old lady and a girl, but the picture was really worn from age, so I couldn't tell what they looked like. This is my mother and my older sister. We were separated when I was little. You wouldn't have known that if I didn't say that, because it's a very old picture. It's a picture of your family. So this little girl was Shion-san? He was thinking about his family. That's why he had such gentle eyes before. I compared Kagerou with the picture that had faded in different areas. I'm really glad to find it again. Kagerou-san closed the cover of the accessory, and then with great affection, he clutched the pendant accessory close to his chest. I didn't expect it to make you that happy. I can say thank you like a normal person, you know. His appearance, even when he was pouting a little, looked different from his usual self. I'd also like to thank you for yesterday, since I was able to talk to you about many things, Kagerou-san. Even though I made you carry my things, you just don't learn, do you? I do think it was a little too much for me, though. I had one more thing to show him. I took out the item that I had hidden away in my chest pocket. What is this? Kagerou-san took a look at the delicate silver shining chains that matched with the accessory. This is a token of my gratitude. This accessory, it's an imported pendant, isn't it? So I thought that you might not lose it anymore if you use this chain. This is for me? When I saw Kagerou-san's face, I couldn't believe what I just saw. Was he being shy? Thank you. Kagerou-san became speechless for a while. He looked very happy as he compared the accessory with the chain that he just received. It's definitely... He passed the chain through the accessory and wore it around his neck. With this, it seems that I won't have to worry about losing it again. His eyes were filled with an unusually gentle light, the warmth that one feels when thinking of one's family. It was one side of this boy that I came to know for the first time. But also I remember what Shion-san said to me yesterday. A boy is born to be separated from his family. That is the fate that awaits him. The existence of a family. For Kagerou-san, that must be very important. So much so that it would make this cynical boy put a smile on his face. But if that's so, then why? Why was he refusing an offer of freedom that would allow him to live with his family? Misao-san? Did something happen? Oh, You've been quiet for a while now. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something. Shion-san asked me to convince him, but couldn't I at least ask him about the circumstances? Thinking about something? It's not polite to think about something else when you have someone in front of you. Yes. I just can't get it out of my head. Is it okay to ask him? Oh, I don't know. I'll ask him. If I ask him honestly, he might explain, right? Kagerou-san, By the way, were you trying to say something just now? Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. The timing might not be right. In the end, I was unable to ask him anything, and lost my chance to do so. Just then. But I feel bad when I'm the only one who received a token of gratitude. Don't worry about something like that. But it looks like I asked you to give me money and gifts. It would be better if I could also give you a token of my gratitude. But I don't know you very well, so I'm not sure what I should give you. Kagerou-san crossed his arms and started to think seriously. Then please talk to me like yesterday. Is that enough for you? Yes. Kagerou-san's black eyes twinkled as soon as he heard my response. Oh, yes. I thought of something that would be perfect. Why don't we go together to a fair at Inari Shrine next Sunday? Inari Shrine? You mean the one in Yoshiwara? Yes, that's right. So they have fairs in Yoshiwara too? I didn't know that. It's kind of famous. You didn't know that? It's surprising just how sheltered you are. I just thought that it wasn't a place for me. It seemed that I would never get used to his sharp tongue, as this made me flinch. Please, don't act scared in front of me like that. Oh yeah, you're right. Did he think I was a bothersome girl? I didn't know why he laughed at me, though. Either way, if you didn't know about it, I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, thank you so much. But don't you have to go back to the shop at night? A fair in Yoshiwara is especially fun during the day. If it's daytime, I'm allowed to leave the shop too. You'll be able to see a Yoshiwara unlike the red light district that exists at night. Ah, but you don't even know Yoshiwara at night, do you? He chuckled and was clearly making fun of me. Stop! It's still daytime. I can't help it. It's just so easy to tease you. Huh? Tease? I tried to question him, but Kagerou-san just smiled at me mischievously. I have to get back to the shop soon. Time just flew by while we stood here talking. I guess it's that time already. Well, I'll be off then. Please look forward to seeing me on Sunday. Yes, good luck at the shop. Yes. When we left, a smile came across the boy's face. I wanted to see more of that smile. I wanted to talk to him. While thinking so, I watched him run off towards Kikuya. Before I knew it, I found that I really enjoyed spending time with Kagerou-san. Though in the end I was unable to ask him about Shion-san's offer to buy his freedom. From Kagerou-san's attitude, he was likely unaware that I had met Shion-san. It was almost like I had hid it from him. Kagerou-san. I watched as his back became smaller and smaller, and I felt a tingling pain in my chest, as if entangled in a thicket of thorns. So that's it for today's reading, those 2 chapters. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in some of my future videos. I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.